Good day everyone, my name is Jenson B. Bunwan, BSIT for ANS. Today we're going to discuss the decision-making, planning, and strategy. So first, decision-focused strategic planning. Decision-focused strategy simply acknowledge that mirror decisions are being made constantly and major decisions need to be made on a regular basis. Traditional strategic planning methods, such as budget planning or departmental planning, are done annually and then sit quietly until they're pulled out again next year. There are two types of decision-focused strategic planning, which is the traditional strategic planning and the decision-focused strategic. The traditional strategic planning is done on high and stays there. Second, strategic planning is done and dusted, never visited again until the next year. Strategic planning is inaccessible or considered above anyone's pay grade. The decision-focused strategic. First, strategic planning is communicated throughout the organization and made accessible and relevant to all. Strategic planning happens regularly throughout the year according to a defined framework and visible to all. Strategic planning discussed regularly and fundamental to the culture.
Tools and techniques, and approaches strategies in design making. Marginal analysis. Marginal analysis weighs the benefits of an input or activities against the cost. This type of analysis helps businesses leadership determine whether an activities or input is improving the maximum return of investment. Marginal analysis is an effective tool of decision making because it takes reference, resources, and informational constraints into account, so manager can be make more typical decision based on this information. SWOT diagram. It is used to make a significant change in businesses. SWOT diagram can help to the company to break down the situation into four distinct quadrants. Strengths. What does your company do better than its competitors? Think about internal and external strengths that you possess. Weaknesses. Where you can company improve, try to take initial approach and consider what factors may be hurting your businesses. Opportunities. Look at your strength and think of how you can leverage them and create new opening for your businesses. Also consider how eliminating specific weaknesses could open to a new opportunity. Threats. Determine what challenges stand in the way of achieve your goals. Identify the threats to your organization.
SWOT analysis. A SWOT analysis is a strategic planning tool that consists of assessing the strengths and weaknesses of a business and the threats and opportunities a business faces. A SWOT analysis can help managers take advantage of company strengths and implement strategies to reduce weaknesses or turn them into strengths. Assessing external threats and opportunities can aid in the strategic decision-making process, as it allows managers to plan for things like the presence of new competitors or the impact of new government regulations. Decision matrix feasibility study. A feasibility study or feasibility analysis is a business planning tool that involves assessing whether a certain project or goal can actually be created or achieved, and whether the project can make a profit. A feasibility analysis can help entrepreneurs in the beginning planning stages of launching a company decide whether to pursue a certain opportunity or not. 5 decision-making techniques. First one, take a process-oriented approach. The first step in developing an effective decision-making process is ensuring the right questions are asked. You then train your team to analyze the problem and viable craft solutions. By following a structured and step-by-step process, You create an effective plan for obtaining team and business goals. The next one. Involve your team. Decision making shouldn't be done in a vacuum. Team members should always be involved in your decision making process. The third one. Foster a collaborative mindset. There are two mindsets you need to consider to instill collaboration in your team. One is better than the other. Advocacy. This mindset views decision making as a contest. Individuals seek to persuade others of their ideas, defend their position, and downplay any weaknesses. Inquiry. This mindset navigates decision making collaboratively with a problem solving orientation. Individuals test and evaluate assumptions by presenting balanced arguments.
5 decision-making techniques. Create and unhold psychological safety. The only way to ensure your team members feels comfortable sharing their ideas and unique perspective is to create environment of psychology safety. Psychological safety is the most important dynamic of a high-performing team. When team members feel psychologically safe, they are comfortable sharing their ideas, and that's how you can get new information and perspective out. This enable innovation. Reiterate the goals of purpose of the decision when making decision about important and complex issues. Revisiting your goals and purpose is crucial to ensure ensure that your team is motivated and aligned with the organization goal. Approach strategies and decision making. Approach number one. Rational analytical approach. Assume that the decision maker is unique actors who behaves intelligently and rationally. He is fully aware of all available feasible alternative and considers all the alternative as well as the consequence is chooses the alternative that secure the maximum gains. The rational approach to decision making includes the following step. Recognize the need of a decision. Approach number two. Intuitive. Emotional intuition is an innate belief about something with conscious consideration. Intuitive emotional approach is opposed to the rational decision making. Managers sometimes decide to something because it is feels right. Approach number three. Political behavior approach. This approach against that real decision makers must consider a variety of pressures from the people who are affected by their decision. Our organization interact with the different stakeholder in independent exchange relationship. Decision makers should by their try their best to meet the demand of the various stakeholder. Approach number four. An administrative approach. Herbert Simon was one of the person who recognized that decisions are not allowed to made with rationality and logic. His administrative model holds that managers have complete and imperfect information are the constrained by abundant rationality and trade the safest when making decisions.